Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Nurturing Astrology Podcast and to my YouTube channel if you're watching over there. Today, I'm here with a very special guest, my bestie and new collaborating partner, Tara Kinden. Hi, Tara.
Hello.
I'm so excited to be back here with you today. You may remember Tara. She's been on the channel before in the podcast. We used to do astro and astrology, astro and HD together. And we've done a few different things in the past. We've been friends for years. And she has gotten into some wonderful new work over the last years that has been amazingly transformative, even for me. And we're in this really key moment right now. Everyone knows with the change of the energies, the big shifts that are happening universally. We are going to name one in particular today, which is Saturn moving into Aries. And we're coming together to do a beautiful workshop, which is about reclaiming your authority from the inside out through this new transit. Saturn's going to be in Aries for the next 3 years, starting February 13th. So we're going to do an awesome workshop together, bringing together her wonderful gifts and my work around healing the father wound and this authority archetype. And Tara, you've been doing so many amazing things lately. So instead of me going through all of that to try and explain it, it's your wisdom and you're able to share it better. So just reintroduce yourself to the community and share what you've been doing lately and how, this has informed our work together.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm excited to go through this with your audience. This is a really exciting time. I mean, for myself, I've been on the journey of astrology, human design, medical astrology, astroherbalism, biofield tuning. I've been using tuning forks since 2021. All the things. And I'm, certified yoga teacher, mediumship. I'm a certification junkie. And I guess since I love learning and I love empowering women, that's my focus. So when I notice something coming in, I'm like, oh, this is actually, I can see how these things play together very easily. And it's been such a gift, with all of the different modalities and information, because it's a lot of information. I found that these tuning forks were able to help. Like, I could do readings and sessions every day, all day. And, and that work is so gorgeous. And it really teaches people about themselves intellectually.
Yep.
But there was this missing piece of integrating power, integrating authority, integrating, and I'm going to use words that make sense for our call today, but integrating love. Like, how do I receive? And this was sort of the missing link for a lot of the women that I was working with was, well, I don't know how to integrate those things, but people have been going for talk therapy and going to massage and doing all this body work at the same time of learning about themselves and their imprints. And there was still something missing, right? There was still this just like, I can't quite put my finger on it, but it doesn't all come together quite yet. I still feel like I'm outside of myself. And that was the embodiment piece, but not in your typical somatic body integration kind of way. This is more like, you don't have to rehash your traumas to bring in your vitality. And that's what they did. So when I was starting to pay attention to this, tuning into people's charts and really helping them to work through and reconnect them to pieces that were a little bit missing, if you will, even through the Akashic records, right? I don't even think of it that way. I guess I just go in and we're moving things and it feels really delicious. So whatever, you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. As long as you feel lighter and more integrated, that's the number one goal. So hopefully that summed it up.
Yeah, beautiful. And it's true. One of the things that I have struggled with is I am an awareness junkie, right? So I'm loving diving into the astrology, and the awareness is awakening. That's what I feel about it, because it does really awaken all these things. And when my father passed a few years ago and I started going down this rabbit hole of healing, I always felt like I had all the pieces, but there was something just blocking still. There was something I couldn't flip in order to really step into this sense of personal authority, and I couldn't figure it out. And when I realized intellectually and going through this framework I developed of the father wound and Saturn, was it wasn't about him per se, but it was about the imprint that I embodied and took on as an early child due to his absence and the relationship between him and my mom and all this stuff. And when I came to you and we started doing this work, all of a sudden it was like we found the places within my field, within me, where this stuff was living. And I was able to integrate in this beautiful way that freed me from it, that liberated me from it. And it also, I feel like, created a more beautiful connection with my father, even though he's passed. And so that's when I was like, okay, the knowledge is amazing, but this part of feeling and figuring out where it lives in our bodies and how we can really integrate that is priceless. And it has flipped a switch in me that is undeniable. And so I feel like that's why the work that you do is so priceless and important for this moment, because Aries is the body. It is that self, right? And it is our personal authority. And with Saturn Aries, it is building this sense of new self from this place of personal authority and power, but not in the like aggressive, like I'm gonna, I'm the shit, whatever it is, like this aggressive thing. This, maybe it is
that way. I don't know.
Or maybe it is.
It is this idea of like, who am I now?
Yeah.
Who am I now after all this work, after this journey that I've been on? Because most of the people who are probably watching your podcast have been on a journey.
Yeah.
And I'll just briefly mention, what even is biofield tuning?
Yes.
This is like, because just so people have a concept. So we have these beautiful bubbles that we live in, and some people call it your auric field. Some people call it just like it's the aura, it's the energy, it's whatever it is. But you feel this energy when you're around people, places, things, all of it. And there are moments where they say it's, 5 feet, 6 feet out from you, and people can take photos of the colors and the energy. So it's not that abstract, and it really is part of our anatomy. We are bumping into people with our little bubbles all day, every day. If energy is everything, and everything is energy, we have to start paying attention to our bubbles and how we feel around other people. So, when you're having a great conversation, or you are more inclined to lean into that person.
Yeah.
It feels really good. And you get this sense of like, ooh,
I know, like we do every time we get together. I'm like
100%. Yeah. We get like piloerection, which is basically your goosebumps. It's the proper name for goosebumps. But that's your body signaling. Your body knows before you can process it intellectually, and before your heart, can send it, what is the emotion I'm getting here? It's like you get the spidey senses before you can put words to it, or even, emotions to it, if that makes sense. And then the same is true for when you sense something is dangerous or someone isn't the right fit for you. Right away. You still may date them and you'll regret it later, but right away when it's the wrong fit, or when something is off. We just override it because we're so programmed that is not accurate information.
Or it's not safe.
It's not safe. Yeah, you're not safe. And we're going to go, like, we're going into, hold on. We're going into liver stuff because I can already feel it pulsing, actually. And like, as we've been talking, I'm like, ooh, yeah, okay. Just to kind of explain the biofield, we're not like, now what we do is I'll use forks. So I use forks. They're basically grabbing, snagging things in your field. So let's say we go to the outside of your field, which can be pre-birth. This can be energies of your mother and father and ancestors out the line. And we start at 0, and then we kind of clomb into where you're at. And so if you're 60 years old or, 40 years old, that's a lot to cover. And it doesn't need to be, there's events that will happen in your timeline I don't even need to know anything about them, just to know that they are there. And so the beauty of this work is that it doesn't re-traumatize you. You don't need to talk about it. I can just simply say, hey, there's something showing up from when you were 8. You remember it, you don't remember it, it doesn't matter. It's just still hanging out in your field. And my only goal with you is to just hold space for your body as it like it's signaling something was here, something is here. I'm ready to move it. And
Yeah.
all I'm doing is just like listening to your body and moving with your body until your body's like, I'm done. Let's put this in. And then we reintegrate energy that's been fragmented from you and your vital life force. Like
Yeah.
you have a vitality that's burning through you, running through you. And if it's out here, it's not doing you any good.
Yeah. Can you hit that one time so we can feel it
Yes.
and give people a sense? And then we're going to do a little session at the end, folks. So please stick around to the end. She's going to actually walk us through a little mini session. So give them a little hit.
So this is the 174. This is really good for breaking up things, stagnant things in the field, the energy that just feels a little bit clunky. It feels a little bit like, and so this just helps to awaken and kind of get it move. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. And it's just very simple. That's it. And breathing is going to be a big one. We'll talk about that. Like you want to be breathing. We especially women breathe above the belly button instead of breathing deep down because we're like, oh, I don't want to let it hang out. Like I was told to suck it in my whole life. Like if I let it hang out, my God, I'm going to get like this bunch or whatever. But you need to be able to like fully inhabit your body and fully expand the organs and all those little internal organs, your intestines, and they need room. But we don't give them the space and room because we've been programmed to suck it in, like stand up.
Yeah.
So this is where we're going to, and you can exhale audibly because that is so good for releasing the tension, not releasing your vitality, but just like releasing any built up tension. It just helps you to like, you can even that voice.
It so does.
Shake it out, move it out.
Whew, yeah. It's so simple and yet so profoundly shifting.
So simple.
And so simply, I mean, I remember you coming through my field and like hitting like something around my knees at like 5. I was like, oh yeah, like boom. But it wasn't like I had to like you said, it wasn't re-traumatizing. It was just recognizing it. And then, like you said, the next day I was like, I had this huge shift right away.
And the floodgates open. So what?
Yeah.
In the best way. When I say that, the best way.
They
so
do.
It's like what it does is it unthaws frozen spaces where it's like sometimes when we have an accident, let's say you have an accident and a medical intervention when you're really young and you don't remember anything about it. You're like, no big deal. I'm over it. Like it happened when I was 3. Your body still recalls that. And even though you can't remember it, your body knows what that felt like. And so sometimes what'll happen because it's so intense at that time, you leave your body, right? You dissociate from your body. And, that's problematic on a multiple different levels. So what we're doing is just bringing those pieces together, allowing you to re-enter gently without feeling like, I got to go through that whole thing again. Because no, you don't. You can talk about it. You don't need to talk about it. It doesn't matter because the energy is moving regardless because we have now, boop, I'm just coming up behind it and I'm slowly bringing it in. Yeah. And it feels so good to have these pieces of you that have been hanging out in the field that we didn't even know about come back to you. And it just feels so lovely.
Yeah, it really, really does. And I love this because this idea of like, spiritual awakening and ascension, like all these things, like we really need to, and I believe Saturn and Aries is about this. It's about grounding in the body and grounding here. And when you talk about disassociation, how many women do that just to survive and their lives and what have you? It doesn't feel safe, and maybe that started from a young age, to be in your body, to be here now and in the present. And I don't think we realize how much we disassociate. It can be very much on autopilot our lives, right? So that's another thing I love about this is the awareness is interesting. And for some people, and for many, having readings and things like this, that awakening of understanding the knowledge, talk therapy, like you said, anything that gets you kind of like thinking, going, oh, I start to get it. The pieces are coming together like a puzzle. But then how can we integrate that in a way that then blocks and frees you up and allows you to integrate that in a way you can be here now, be present, be in your self-trust and personal authority so you can move safely and then move through the world from this place. And you're going to naturally influence and impact the world around you, your relationships with your loved ones, with your family, with the people you work with, you know, in the world, and however you choose to show up, wherever you choose to show up, that place you're coming from is completely different. And I feel completely different since I've been working with you. And that's why I'm like so excited about this. We've been talking about it for a while, and it's just like, wait a minute, there's something here. We need to bring these things together. Together.
It was like back when we first started this, you were like, I got this idea with the father wound. And I'm like, you need to do the archetypes. And I'm like, you need to get on this. And then the more and more we talked about it, and the more and more, like, you know, it was bubbling. It's almost like I think it was our second session where it's like there were things that just boop, 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 clicked back into place and reintegrated, you know, some power. It gives you confidence. Yeah.
Yes. And you were saying that you have found consistently with women that this is showing up, this line of, you know, the father wound or their masculine or that sort of authority that is coming up a lot in your sessions with women, almost continuously, right? So we're like, okay, wait a minute. This is happening over here. This makes sense. This is what I'm working with people. So why don't we dive into a little bit about the body, this idea of where we're holding that anger or that authority, where those blocks are, where we hold them in the body, and the kind of give them a taste a little bit about what we're going to be doing in the workshop. I'll introduce you to Saturn and the father wound, and we're going to talk about it from this perspective of Saturn and Aries, because we're all going to be working with this over the, you know, collectively for the next few years. And then I'm going to actually give you some insights into each Saturn in each house so that you will understand more specifically where you're working with it in your life. And then Tara is going to actually share more about this integration piece and help us tune in and integrate and do a wonderful, I'm getting piloerection just talking about it. Give us another, you know, an actual.
You'll never be able to forget that word ever.
No. She's going to give us an actual tuning session that's going to really help integrate it. And it's going to be live in the moment. So she's going to tune into that collective and for all of us. So whether you're, you know, there or you'll be able to watch a replay or whatever, you're going to get this because I've listened to the replays that we've done and you get it. So share more about this integration piece, the body, and what you'll be offering us in the workshop, and then you'll give us a taste.
Okay, so I've made some notes just so I keep myself on track, because when we get together, we're like, squirrel, squirrel.
Yes.
All right, so here's one of the biggest things, like, why is this conversation even happening now? So it's like the work, like Dominique said, what's the thing that's showing up the most with the women that I've been serving? And it's not random, like it's right on time. And so when we're looking at the father energy and the line of the father, and it shows up a lot for women for multiple different reasons. And one of the things that we've talked about is like, we're not trying to demonize relationships, father relationships. This is about, you know, because sometimes people will have a not great relationship with their father. Maybe they don't even speak to their father anymore, or maybe they had a wonderful relationship with their father. Maybe they were overspoiled by their father, daddy's little girl, and like, you know, there's both spectrums, and then there's the in between, you know, which
and
was
the
like
absent altogether, and you know, or you didn't totally have neutral. One. Right.
You were like, it's neutral. I'm neither way. It just is what it is, right?
And I think that's the point too, is whether everyone had a father, whether they were present or not, the relationship, it doesn't matter. There was an imprint of authority. Mm-hmm. It was embedded in your DNA when you were born, when you were young, that came from even the relationship your father and mother had, whether that was estranged or close or what have you, because mother wound is very important as well, the matriarchal side, all of that. But I've learned recently too, and been thinking about this, that the relationship between mother and father is also part of that father authority imprint. So
and
we're not
his
trying
relationship with his parents.
it goes there. Yes, that's my work.
We're all the thing, right? And it goes way back. So it's like way back, playback. But then when we're looking at the father side, way back, playback, for a woman, for the body in general, the liver is where we store anger. And so we're going to be talking about the liver. But before I dive into that concept, it's just that I want to look at Neptune quickly, because Neptune dissolves and Neptune's moved into Aries, right? So it's like, we're being exposed now to what's been numbed, okay? Because when Neptune was in Pisces, we were all numbed out. We were all exiting our bodies. We were like, I want to ascend. And you're going to hear, you've heard all of this, like up to whatever it is these days, 9D, I don't even know. But it's like there was a lot of, I'm going to leave. I was like, nobody needs any help with that. We've already been out of our bodies, really, right? We need to help bring you back home.
Yes.
Okay, because we're here right now. But like, Aries rules that initiatory energy. It rules anger. It rules fighting. It rules instinct. It rules fire and survival-based energy. Neptune in Aries is like our suppressed fire coming back online without doing any work, just saying. So if you don't know how to manage your fire as it is, it's either going to like burn real hot and burn out, or it's going to smolder, or like whatever happens for you. So Saturn approaching Aries is saying, okay, I need accountability for how we're going to manage this power and how we've been handling it.
Yes,
and if you don't know what that means, well, get ready to get that cosmic biatch slap from, the powers that be.
Oh yeah. I've already feeling that Neptune in Aries flip. It's crazy. I was like, and even more so, I'm like, whew, I need to be in my body. I need to be present. I can feel that already.
And we're going to talk about all of this. And like, you're just getting a touch of kind of where we're going with this, because it's like next level as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
But so here's what's surfacing for everybody, like the exhaustion piece from just carrying so much fire without any support or place to put it, right? And that anger that was never allowed to move. Like, a lot of women carry deep anger, frustration, that it just was never allowed to be expressed. Like, men can express anger more openly because it's more acceptable. And it hasn't been the same way. Yes, there are new things coming online for women to express anger, but like, is that the appropriate way to express it? I mean, I don't know. It's individual, right? But your body is just basically saying, like, I cannot hold this quietly anymore, which is where the fierceness is coming through. Yeah. And we want to watch that level of fierceness, because like, how is that going to show up? Because if you're coming at fierce energy or this fiery energy from an unsupported, unstable, ungrounded place, is dangerous. It's straight up dangerous. And I'm like getting throat stuff saying that, because it feels like it's scary, because there's going to be things that come out of people that is going to be dangerous and scary for that, not to scare anybody. I'm just saying, like, when we come into the fire horse year, there's going to be like fireballs everywhere. People aren't just gonna be like, I'm in.
Even just getting in your car, driving behind the wheel faster. Like, I mean, anytime Mars is ever in Aries, I'm always like, okay, and I have that natally. Like, slow your roll. I walk fast, I drive fast. Like, you need to slow down.
She talks fast.
I talk fast. Right? So I have to slow down. Can you imagine me? I'm going to be like in fuego. I need to like.
But that's okay, because you're grounding. So, okay, but let's talk about the liver, because like, this is really important and something I just want you to think about and to percolate on while we are going to move through this process.
Okay.
Because across medical astrology, Chinese medicine, and like hands-on practical work, the liver is the first place suppressed power shows up. You see, I can't even get the words out. It's like, yeah, right? So I'm here. I got this. So liver is about processing, detox. Oh, wow. Oh boy. detoxification, vitality, direction, and liver metabolizes things like our hormones. These are things you're hearing about, key words like ding, ding, ding. Hormones, histamines, emotions, and anger. Okay, that's what the liver metabolizes. And so when anger isn't able to be expressed, friends, it doesn't disappear. It gets processed by the liver. And what does your liver look like when it's not processing the things? You know, when you put meat in the, and sorry for the vegetarians who are here, I can't think of another analogy. But like, you know, when you put like a great steak in the fridge and the saran wrap isn't fully on it and it gets like all that like sort of crusty and congealing, that's what your liver does when it can't process the anger, right? And so for women specifically, women are conditioned to internalize this anger. We carry the consequences of our actions, right? And if we're delayed in taking actions, like we beat ourselves up more than anyone else could ever do that to us, right? And we're regulating to everyone else because we're relational. That's important to us. So the organ that kind of it holds what we can't accurately express sometimes, or what we can't express safely because it doesn't feel safe, because we've learned, oh, when we have these outbursts, you're emotional, you're too much, you're too loud, you're too whatever, be quiet, why are you so, you know, whatever. And then when I'm looking at gallbladder, because a lot of women, more women than men, have their gallbladders removed, okay? And again, I'm trying to lightly touch on this because like we will go deeper into this thing, but the gallbladder is important as well because it plays a role of timing and courage. Okay, that's where that's what sits in the gallbladder, and it knows, okay, well, what's the timing? When is it safe for me to act? Okay, well, quite a few women, and you can comment below if you're one of these women, have had their gallbladder removed. So then how do I know when it's safe to act? Just like, I'm just putting this out there. I'll tell you, don't worry, you're going to get this info. But like the liver knows the truth, the gallbladder decides when it's safe to move. And a patriarchal system, which we've been living in and are still living in, punishes women for acting too soon, too boldly, or at all. Okay? So what happens to our action? It gets delayed, the energy gets stored, and over time, that storage becomes pathology. Right? So you don't need to, like, it's not about the medicine. Like, it's not about the medical, like, it's not about this, the patriarchy. It's just the results of what we've been living in. So now it's awareness. Oh, I have this new awareness. What am I going to do with it? Right? Because the system is excellent. Like, the medical system is excellent in resolving crises, but it doesn't ask a woman why she's carrying so much if they're just going in and being like, your gallbladder needs to come out, you're having an attack, we're saving your life, or whatever it is, it's got to go. And you're at the mercy in the moment of the experience, and you're like, okay, whatever, do what you got to do to save my life, right? But there was no like, why am I carrying so much that my gallbladder is jammed up? So I'm just gonna put that out there, and just so people are like, I don't have one, oh my god, like I can't make good decisions. No, the energy of the organ is still in the body. So you're still working with it. But I will say that when you have your gallbladder removed, one of the things that does happen is that the bile, which is produced by the liver, isn't being regulated by the gallbladder, so it's just being slowly, consistently leaked into the small intestines, and we wonder why we have gut issues. Just saying. So there's a whole other side to all this cortisol talk, gut repair, all the things. Okay, so just something to put into your mind. Do you have something to add, girl? I can see your brain. I had processed.
No, I'm thinking about the body. I'm like feeling into my organs here, my spaces here. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm just thinking about it.
Like, one of the things that I find very interesting is there's a lot of astrological mythology, and we've talked about Prometheus and we've talked about Chiron, and it's like this idea of a regenerative wound, okay? Because the liver is the only organ that can regenerate itself. And so when we're looking in mythology, like Prometheus, he doesn't lose his liver at once. It's eaten every day and it regenerates every night. Okay, this is not accidental as far as like I've been thinking about this.
Yes.
So if you think about Prometheus bringing the fire to humanity, and the cost is that ongoing extraction that he experiences, and the liver being the only regenerative organ that we have, this mirrors women who bring emotional labor, bring creativity, bring care, regenerate endlessly. We're constantly, so when we look at Chiron, because Chiron is a very important player for women approaching 50, and I am that gal. That's why I'm talking about Chiron.
I'm over. Been there.
Right? But you'll be able to recollect and almost like when you look back, you're like, wow, okay, I now see some of these patterns, right? The wound, it doesn't kill us with Chiron. It just kind of keeps eating away at us, right? But it initiates us, especially around our power, our authority, and our embodiment. And I also find voice.
Absolutely.
Voice being a big one. And when you think about Chiron, here's the other really fascinating piece. I was like, oh my God. He's half horse, half man. But the divide of the man and the horse meets at the solar plexus, the power center, where the liver sits. Just saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
So, right.
And weren't you saying too that so is it the Uranus that rules that there's Uranus and then there's Chiron, because we know that the Uranus opposition is a huge moment for women, and then the Chiron return, or even in Saturn, we talk about the Saturn return. Those first Saturn opposition, if you want to go deep down into that Saturn aspects, like
there are many rabbit holes you can go
on,
but it is the big transitions that we're gonna, midlife women. And I do think this starts at 30. Like, I know that's not midlife, but like this is where, if you go back 50 years, it was midlife technically, just saying.
Absolutely. Back there, right?
Right. And so we think about Chiron, we think about Uranus, the body, it just stops tolerating silent sacrifice. And that's what women do. We sacrifice silently.
That's why so many people go through divorce during their Uranus oppositions or their husband's Uranus oppositions, because everybody's at this like point where they've been holding everything too long and it's time. They can't. So you either have to address it and work through it and grow through it, or you end up breaking up. Right. And the same thing with the Chiron
integration. Yeah.
It's
like
a perfect time.
Like
we've been through those.
Yeah, we've been through those. Yeah,
and we've walked each other through those. We've been through those moments together, and like helping each other integrate. Like those are the moments where you want to blow up your life sometimes.
And the thing is, you can know all the things. You know, okay, I'm going to be out of this by 6 months or 2 years.
Doesn't
whatever.
matter.
It doesn't matter. It's the body piece that's been missing. And I was like, oh my God, where has this been?
Yeah.
But like
that's when you started getting into this other work.
That is when I started getting into this work. Actually, I really started pulling in tuning forks at my Uranus opposition.
Yeah,
actually. So you're, the symptoms keep escalating, not to punish us, but to initiate us.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when we're looking at Uranus, we're looking at nervous system stuff. Okay. And this is why women always feel on edge. Potentially. I'm giving you potentials. This is not like the be all end all. I'm no doctor, but I have information that may be helpful.
There's a lot of places in astrology we know that we can associate with nervous system. It's everything from the body, which is the moon, to Mercury, which is the connectivity and the connections in our bodies, to frequency, which is in line with Uranus, and sound. It all comes together. So there's lots of different places, and we're not doctors and we're not like authorities on every single thing, but this is our experience, what we've learned, and how we feel this is really powerful in this moment. And we want to do our part to try and help and serve women.
100%. And like when we're looking at Uranus, right? Uranus rules the nervous system. So this is that awakening. And if we awaken without grounding, it equates to anxiety. Okay. And Uranus opposition is the wake up call, where it gets you to sort of reflect on the last, up to that point in your life. So from 38 to 44 really is when you get this hit. And it's like you look and you're like, oh my God, what have I done at this point? Like, right? And you get all stressed out about it. That's just like, so this is where the adrenal fatigue starts really showing up. This is where histamine reactions start happening. If you're like, I don't know what that means. It's like you drink red wine and you can't drink red wine anymore. Those are histamines, like, right? Or red meats can create, there's a lot of different things you can check that out.
Perimenopause, menopause, all those things. The
It all
hormones start
starts at
changing.
this time,
Yeah.
for some people. And then we're more, there's this like constant vigilance. We're on edge all the time. And
Yeah.
that awakening without embodiment is destabilizing, and that's why frequency matters. So it's like, I want to talk to you about the frequency piece because this is important. And I am a yoga teacher. I'm certified as a personal trainer, TRX, which is like all these training systems. I ran a yoga studio for many years, 10 years. I taught yoga classes, stand-up paddleboard classes. I'm like certified paddle instructor. I know how to get in the body. But frequency was something that was not, and so I used crystal singing bowls. I did use those, but it didn't impact me the way that biofield tuning did. So there is something to that is deeper for me, anyways, and I've found for clients. So
Yeah.
frequency is like, this is where you can't talk the liver into relaxing. It's not going to
Right.
behave. All right. The river, the river. Think of it like a river.
Yeah.
It responds to rhythm and vibration and flow.
Yep.
The river, liver. All right. And sound gets to bypass this thing.
Yes.
It bypasses it. It's like, go to bed. Go to bed, little mind, and just stop going on the squirrel track.
Which is so good for those of us who live up here all the time.
Yeah, which is a lot of us, right? A lot of us prefer to live up here. It's safer up here than down here if you've had any kind of trauma down below, right? If you've had a C-section as trauma, if you've had, bladder infections, yeast, all of the things.
Abuse.
Abuse, 100%.
Yeah.
All of those things that kept us feeling unsafe. I was like, I'm not safe down here. I'm okay up here. But it gets busy.
Yeah.
So the frequency restores your timing, your safety, being able to release and relax and unfreeze without consequences. So frequency helps us move issues through the tissues when the nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to do it on its own.
You need to say that one more time.
Okay. So frequency helps move issues through the tissues. Sometimes I used to say out of the tissues, but it's like it moves them through them. Okay. And when the nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to do it on its own. It's like, right? So frequency helps to move it when the nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to do it on its own. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? This isn't a cure. I'm not giving you a cure. But I'm helping you claim the mechanism.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay? And so now, like, when I think about working as a medium, and I don't say that often out loud, but it's the truth. Like, people come in sometimes to sessions that, like, they're not my friends, they're your friends. Like, they become my friends in the moment, and I hold space for them to deliver whatever message needs to come in. But using the medical astrology piece, what I know about astrology and the body, the holistic healing practices that I've been at for over 20 years, I don't see the body, astrology, human design, emotion as separate systems. I'm also certified in Bach flower, so I know how to support your system emotionally after a session as well. And so, they're one conservation happening at different octaves, right?
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah, absolutely. And
I want to leave. Yeah, so I just like I want to wrap this episode because I know Dom's got stuff to add in here. So I want to wrap this up. And it was like the idea that, what many of you, especially women, are experiencing right now isn't a failure or regression. It's just a call to stop carrying power in silence. Okay, when we can restore that rhythm and that safety in your beautiful body, especially through the liver, the liver river,
Mm-hmm.
everything begins to reorganize itself. And that generally invites in curiosity, listening to your body, not feeling like you got to fix everything, but relating to your body differently with a new level of respect and a new level of like coming home. Okay.
Mm.
And literally like suppressed power shows up in your liver first, I believe. Okay. Especially when timing and authority, which is what we're talking about with Saturn and Aries, have been very unsafe. And frequency can restore that force. Like what force was never allowed to be forceful. Force. You know,
Yeah.
I like to call this
Yeah.
ferocity. It's
Yeah.
ferocity. Yeah. So those are the big things. And now like, you
Mm.
know, we could do a little tuning. But
Yeah.
I'll let you do say whatever, you know, you feel inclined.
All of that, all the way that that landed for me, of course, pistons firing all the places. Yeah, because even like the moments I was in session with you were coming back to me as you were talking, and this idea of family lineage, and like the women, the grandmothers and grandmothers that came through to also show me that there was that I was free to step into this, that I was safe to choose this for myself, was so moving in that moment. And so there is, I do find this liberation. And for someone who's very much into the systems and blending systems and the wisdom and the knowledge, and I'm, loving to put the pieces together. And I am post Chiron return, right? So my father passed right after my Chiron return, like right as I
Yeah.
was having my Chiron return. And so,
But I
so
just
when
want to say this because it was like his gift to her
Mhm.
was to deliver this medicine to the women who need it. And that all of those grandmothers who had suppressed power are gifting you with the understanding of what sacred power looks like. True, clean, crystalline power, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and I feel in ways that I've never allowed myself to hold that before. So it was really powerful stuff.
I love this. I love this. And,
There may be tears in this session too.
it's just gentle. Like this is the beauty of it is it's gentle. It doesn't need to be like where it's like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of stuff is just forced down. You've got to do this practice and this way and and it's like actually you just get to lay back and like
Yeah.
receive and your
Yeah.
body will do the work for you
Yeah.
because it's like it's like you would tune a guitar. Look at it, listen, like you would tune a guitar to keep it
Yeah.
sounding beautiful.
Yeah.
You need to tune your body to keep it running beautiful.
Yeah.
Like,
It was allowing me to actually integrate and sit with the wisdom that I have discovered and accumulated and cultivated through my work as an astrologer and my own journey using these tools. And I've done talk therapy and I've done yoga and I've done all these different things. And like you said, it doesn't discount that. It was like you mentioned something about like once you get to this place where like you recognize the cycles and the patterns and you see
you have a
it,
laundry list of all the things that you've been
right?
working on, and you're like, well, why do I still feel this way?
Right. But it's just like you get to a place where once that work helps you get to a space where you're out, like you were saying, outside of it enough to integrate it into a way that is serving as opposed to no longer debilitating or blocking you. And
The patterns. So
the
when
patterns.
so what happens is in a session, I'm like a pattern reader. I love patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I'm coming in, I will see a certain pattern show up. And I will reflect that back to whomever it is and say, okay, here's the pattern I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And does that resonate? And like it does. And the beauty is that that pattern won't show up if the person is not outside of the pattern and able to do something about it. It's like they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's showing up because they're outside of it and they're able to now fully integrate the lesson
Yes.
or whatever it was that was creating, this pattern. And that is something very incredible.
And that's what I feel like the work that I do helps them understand so they can get outside of the pattern. That
Yes.
having that knowledge and that wisdom, that understanding, it's like, oh, I get it now. And now I'm outside of it. Okay, how do I integrate it so I can live from this new place?
In your body.
And in my
From
body.
here to
here. And then that's where this beautiful biofield tuning work has been life-changing for me. And I feel like it's divinely timed. And we kept saying for years, we want to work together. There's something that we want to do. There's something here. And we both felt like this moment was like, bing. We both were like, this is it. This is it. Because it's like the missing piece for me was you, and being able to, help people understand it. I just feel like this was beautifully timed. So my throat, I feel like I'm clearing.
100%.
I'm clearing.
And that's the thing, like, Dominique is the most amazing relational astrologer ever. And part of her gift is in seeing, like, how can I help support you in relationships? How can I help you to repair or, see the pattern in a relationship that maybe you weren't able to see before, right? And
just to cultivate the best possible relationship with yourself, to not lose yourself in relationship, which so many of us do as women, wives, mothers. We lose ourselves in all the care and everything we're giving. And so my work has been like, how can I hold on to myself and continue to go through my personal growth journey while being all of these things to everyone else, and cultivating authentic, healthy relationships with each one of them. Okay, so I'm going to just give you the deets a little bit here. We're going to be going through all of this wonderful stuff, deep dive in the workshop. So let me just share a little bit about that, and then we're going to hand over the floor to Tara, and she's going to give us a preview, a little small mini biofield tuning session here that you're going to receive in the workshop. So on Friday the 13th, February 13th, Saturn is that's the day Saturn makes its step into Aries. So that morning, we are going to do a workshop where we are going to go into a bit of what we are doing now, sharing with you all about Saturn in Aries. I will walk you through that invitation and go into if it's happening in wherever it's happening, each house it's happening in, so that you can get even a little more specific about where this work will be showing up for you in the astrology. And then Tara will share more about her beautiful work and how we can integrate this in our body and walk us through a beautiful, deep session of healing. So the link and all the information will be below in the show notes. Definitely sign up and join us. It's going to be so fun and so amazing, and I'm super excited. And if the time doesn't work for you, like, you'll get the replay for limited time so that you can do this. And like Tara said, you can do this anywhere, anytime. These tunings are going to be amazing. So we would love for you to have the wisdom, whether you can show up live or not. So check all that out. And Tara, I'm going to give you the floor and let you give us a little mini introduction and taste of the wonderful tuning that we're going to get.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one because I think, and like Dom said, our goal here is to give you ideas today, just to let some things kind of land and come in. I'm just going to draw a little body. So this is my little person body here. That's you all. And what you're doing right now is you can either just stay seated. You don't need to lay down, but if you want to get comfortable and you want to like relax, do that. You pause here, go lay down, get yourself comfy. You can put on earbuds too, which gives you this sort of, what do they call it? Binaural sound.
Yeah.
Pardon me. And so if I belch, I'm going to apologize, but it's actually energy passing.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I even apologize. I just like to bring it to your attention in case you're like, wow, but it's energy moving. So, and I don't want to keep it. I don't want to suppress it. And our goal here is to release. So what I'm going to do is provide you with a sense of grounding first, which we were going to move down your Earth Star chakra to connect you to the earth. safety, security, and stability. And then we're going to open you up to the Sun Star chakra, which is about vitality and, you bringing in all these big, juicy, you all feel like there's something just up here this way. I know I'm just on the precipice of something amazing. And this helps to land some of that, because you can't land these juicy ideas unless you're feeling grounded. And clearing, just coming into the liver to give your liver a little lovin'. We're just going to add a little rhythm to the liver and the river of the liver to give a little bit of movement there. So if you felt like a little stuck and stagnant, this is maybe going to help sort of break up some of that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the sense I'm getting and what I'm feeling. So I'm just going to take a second to kind of like tune in, to tap in to where we are. So you can all just close your eyes if you want, or you can keep them open, your call. And you can use that nice exhaling breath, like, you can wiggle. You don't need to stay stuck in one position. We're just going to open our energy up to like, what's here? And I'll talk you through it. I'll walk you through it. You don't need to do anything. So as you're settling in here, you can just envision, support on your feet, like me holding the bottoms of your feet, and how lovely that feels to be held in this way as we tap in. And I can feel a lot of like tension in the mid back, behind the heart. And this is where we store our ability to love others, love ourselves, and just breathing into the back of your heart space. Don't forget you have the back of your body. So I know we do a lot of breathing in the front, but let's breathe into the back. Kind of like your angel wings need to get a little bit bigger here. And as you're kind of settling in, soften your face, relax the shoulders down and away from your ears. Let your shoulders settle. Let yourself feel held by the space, whether you're sitting or laying down, just loosening up any tension from your day. And as you continue to breathe, I'm going to come on in now to the feet, and we're going to focus on breaking up any stagnation here. And noticing what you may be sensing in your body, any tingling, and again, you're going to hear sounds around you. Don't worry about that. Just look into your body. How do you feel? What are you noticing? As I pull this Earth Star chakra gently down and guiding it down, you can kind of hear that resistance. There's a little bit of like ding. It's like resistant to come down, and sometimes it gets tucked up around the ankles. Big, deep, full breaths here is going to help to move that. And as we're bringing it down, we're finding more coherence, more brightness. Notice if you're holding your breath at your diaphragm and big breath in. And any of you that still find yourself, I'm in my head, this isn't doing anything, I don't know what to do, relax, just let it go. Let it just be there with you. I can feel the anxiousness. Some of you are carrying a lot of anxiousness up in that diaphragm, and just breathe. Just feeling a little tingling in the front of that right shin. This is our overcoming obstacles and are moving forward, and maybe a little confusion. I'm just feeling things clicking and relaxing. So I'm going to do one more here because the sound is really beautiful and really buoyant. We're going to lock it in. And as I lock this in here, I'm going to open up the flow from the Earth Star, the Earth Mother, grounded energy, stability, safety. We're going to open up this flow to really anchor you in. And so as I open up the flow to ascend all the way up through the center of the body, you'll begin to feel this coming in through your feet. Maybe you'll feel a tingling, a warming sensation. As it comes through the feet, it's going to come up the shins, into the knees, into the hips, the pelvic bowl, the root, the sacral, solar plexus. Breathe here to soak it in and let it flow up into the heart, into the throat, third eye, and up through the crown. And as it comes to the crown, envision a whale spout, just letting all of that beautiful energy come around you in your biofield, into your thyroidal field. Let it fill that ball all around you. And I'm just going to do one more hit here as we anchor in. Stabilize this. Beautiful. So you may feel a pulling down on the feet and really feeling a sense of groundedness, and that is exactly what we want. And now we're going to come up to the top of the head, to the crown. And again, just noticing what's here. Is there pressure? Maybe like, what are you sensing? My temples are tingling. I feel like there's so much information up here, so much energy, even like noticing a little bit of a headache. Some of you maybe have been carrying headaches for a little while. Don't forget to use your breath. Don't forget to breathe. And you'll notice this has a fuller sound. It has had a fuller sound since we started because a lot of you have a very big connection to God, Source, Spirit, Universe. But maybe you've been having a little bit of trouble bringing it in and landing it in. And I'm noticing here, throat coming up and the mid-back again showing up. And this is the ability to receive these ideas, receive this loving support from beyond yourself, universal support. And some of you just really felt that click in. Woo. So good. I'm going to anchor this up here. Sorry, that was up. All right, we're going to open up this connection here and allow this descending current to flow down through you. You can kind of feel it coming in through the crown, like this golden honey, this cosmic gold, I like to call it, as it just sort of flows in and down all the way through you. Feels really delicious. It feels like a liquid gold coming in. Through the throat, the third eye, coming into the heart. You may feel buzzing, tingling, warming. Solar plexus, sacral, root, down the legs, into the feet, and all the way down into the earth, feeling that grounding down. And if you need to wiggle or move, things are gurgling in the belly. I can feel that. So maybe you're noticing that as well. Breathing into the back of the heart one more time. And now I'm going to come on into the liver energy. We're going to come on into the side of the body. And the liver is just at the right side. So it's on the right side, kind of under the breast, under the rib cage, in this area. I'm just going to bring your liver a little bit of love. And I'm noticing jaw tension. So a lot of you may be holding tension in your jaw. That's where you clench down when you can't say what you want to say or feel what you want to feel. Just envisioning flow in that liver. Less resistance, or resisting that energy that wants to move. Feels a little bit sharp. And I'm just getting this sense of jaggedness, like, and now, you know, my throat feels a little bit like I don't know if it's razor blade. I'm getting this in the vision of razor blades, like, I mean, words cut. That's the sense I'm getting. I'm getting a sense like words cut, words. And again, even into that like left temple. Do not forget to breathe here. This is really important. And you can even use like, growl, like a little growl to move this one. That's okay. Because you're grounded, you're supported, you have this moment here to really be aware of how maybe some of these sharp words have landed on you, or it can even be sharp words you've used on yourself. Like some of you have been walking a tightrope. And it's been very jiggly. And it's just sort of smoothing. It's like the path is just kind of smoothing out a little bit. Like it's like quieting down. So you can feel, and my face is getting really hot right now. So I'm feeling like a lot of heat coming in. Like it got really intense, and now we're having a somatic releasing, a somatic like resolve. It's like the wave is crested. You can probably even see my cheeks getting really red. Now we're in that lull, a little bit of a it kind of feels a little sad. Got really hot, and now it's just getting like, you see where the liver stores a lot of emotions, the full spectrum. But, you know, a lot of us are afraid to express all of those emotions. And I just felt like a facial softening even as well, like the cheekbone come down a little bit. Even a little bit of warming in the back of the heart there, between the shoulder blades. Just trying to come back online even just a little bit here. And this is not new. Some of you have been carrying this for a really long time. You may even be feeling a little twitching. And this will resonate with some of you. It's almost like, are you deaf? Like, are you tone deaf? Like, and so if you ever heard that, it felt really sharp here. It feels really sharp here. So it's almost like not having the ability to say the right thing and being punished for that. Is that your belly? And this is how the body digests, right? And you can feel the tone just feels clearer now. Like, you feel the difference. Wow. All right. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, this feels really right. So I'm going to reintegrate this energy into the liver. It does feel like we did some slight don't forget to breathe as we're reintegrating these pieces. And I know some of you can really feel the difference in the sound or hear the difference in the sound. I'm just gonna sorry, that was me. And so as I'm plugging us kind of back into the current time and space, your beautiful little holographic bodies here with me. Just taking a minute to just kind of bring us back online. So I'm just gonna lock this in because like
Okay.
what we've now reintegrated, I want to make sure we seal it in. I'm just gonna lock this in here. You can't hear this. This is a weighted fork. And now when I seal in the practice today, I'm actually going to use the 528, which is a beautiful heart. And it's what we do is cocoon your beautiful little body. And just lock that in. So I'm going to come back, just kind of touch back into the bottoms of the feet. Yeah, just gonna like in the jaw here. Some of you may still just be carrying a little bit of just tension in the jaw. So allowing yourselves as you move through your day, and I'm just gonna kind of come on in and just assist anybody who's feeling that. It's just a jaw tension is, reflective to the lower body as well, into the root area where we kind of lock down when we are moving things. And this will just soften, just allowing you to soften. Make sure you're drinking water today, and you can even add a little bit of sea salt in your water just to get some beautiful electrolytes and minerals. And if you can, do even a little bit of a bath, and get into the water and let that river have a chance to move, to get some movement. Okay, that feels good. And like I said, things could have come up for you that you're like, oh yeah, the voice, the things that were said, the tone deaf thing that felt really sharp. So some of you, that'll be really important for, and just know, like, we reintegrated the things that felt like they were taken, potentially away from you. And so my husband is cutting wood right now.
I love it. The outside world. I was thinking the same thing when like noises were coming in. You were saying noises. I was like, oh yeah. But that's life. We have to learn
It's
how to
life.
be able to stay tuned in and grounded when the world is happening and going on around us. And there's noise and frequency and like interruptions, right? How can we stay centered in our bodies? And you were, I think maybe because we're here too, I was like, she's reading on me. Like I was feeling the tension. And then when you talked about headaches, I was like, oh my God, I woke up with a headache the last 2 mornings. So I was like, okay, so you were really tuning into me for sure because I'm here with you, but I'm
Yeah.
sure people will resonate with this
Oh,
because it's so collectively, being felt. And that's the beauty of
and
this.
I will just say this too, like I've really noticed like a crunchy spine. So when I was doing this, I
Yeah.
feel like crunchy. And I was like, you know why? Because I think their backbones are strengthening and it feels a little crunchy. And
Oh,
so
I
this is
love
one
that.
thing I just noticed. It's like, when I got into the work here, it just felt like, yeah, so we better
Yeah.
wrap this up because
Yeah, right.
this
I
is
think
gonna get
this is
crazy.
beautiful. I really am so excited about doing this together. I think you gave people such an amazing piece. I mean, it was like almost like a free session you just gave them.
100%.
It was so beautifully it was rich, it was deep, it was, thank you for your time and for doing that to give people just a taste of what we do together, what we hope that they'll join us for doing more. So yeah, thank you so much, Tara. This was awesome,
Oh,
and I cannot wait for our continued work together and this workshop. I hope all of you are interested in joining us, or you do. And please, either way, like drop in the comments after you do this what you felt, what came up for you, even if it's in a day or two, because
I
that, no, I
we
can't. It's not bad.
It's not?
Mm-mm.
Oh, geez, sounds like he's coming through the wall. I'm
Yeah,
like,
no.
what's happening out
It's
there?
not bad. It's a little bit.
But this is what's so funny. It's like, you know, this external influence, this masculine energy coming in and smack up.
Right? It's
like,
so on time. It's so on time.
You can't make this stuff up.
You can't make this shit
and
up.
he came after it was done. So that's, you know, it's a conclusion.
This is staying in. This is like perfect. This is
I
life,
like,
people.
Oh,
this
boy.
is life, right? This is
life.
But yeah, let us know in the comments how this resonated, how it landed, you know, your experience. And if things come up later, come back and drop comments. And again, we would love for you to join us. We are so excited to do this work. And thank you, Tara, for your time today.
We're going to take this on the road. We're going to take it into like, I can see healing retreats with this. Like I can just see how beautifully integrative.
Yeah.
This work will be, and how the powers of looking at yourself from these new eyes almost can be. So it's really exciting. We are freaking so excited about it.
Yeah.
And we know
it works. We're fast. I'm so excited. It works online. Like it would be so amazing to do this in person, and we hope to do it in person at some point to, like you said, take this show on the road. But it works. It works. Yeah. Energy is everywhere. We make these connections, and I have had profound experiences working with Tara online like this. We've never met in person. We've been friends for almost 7 years.
Online dating for the last 7 years.
We are going to meet in person. It is happening. We're going to take the show on the road. But thank you, everyone, for being here and for listening and for tuning in today with Tara Kinden and myself. And we hope to see you again very soon and in the workshop. Bye, everyone. Thanks. Thanks for listening. And I hope you gained some great astrology insight and inspiration from today's show. I'd love to hear, so drop me a comment or share in a review. Check out the show notes for all the details and links about today's episode, how you can connect with me on social or work with me directly. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Take care and keep nurturing the nature, friends. I'll see you on the next episode.